Hi there VC, it's Steve Whitty here with another video, and this video is a contest entry to Steve Carlson's 1,000 subs contest. I mentioned on my last video I was struggling for an idea to come up with the subject of Steve's contest. However, before I start going on, I really want to say Steve is, I think, produces some of the best videos on the VC. It's knowledgeable. It's different. The music he shows it varies. It's so different and so knowledgeable, and he's always on the lookout for different types of music. And he's not afraid to show a few CDs and play a few. And he does it with a good grace and a good sense of humour as well. And not to forget that he has a co-star with the cat come on jumping in on him. But also on a personal front, Steve's has been very supportive of my channel, watches and comments on mine, which I really do appreciate, because when you've got 1,000 subs, no doubt you're subscribing to quite a few channels as well, and to just take that time out to view my video and comment, I do appreciate it. And I think something that's not lost on me. That's why I was so keen to do an entry to this contest. I'm not really one for doing contest entries normally, but for certain people, Steve's one of them. Yes, I'll make an exception. Maybe in the new year I might do a few more entries, but hey ho. Let's have a quick slurp of my tea before it gets cold. Steve's contest was to show some go-to albums, and I did struggle with this initially, thinking, well, what albums do I go to? I'm in my favourites or what? And then it suddenly dawned on me, actually, this morning, I'd got a list of albums I was going to show, but I sort of last minute changed it. And I've chosen, the reason these are go-to albums were, these albums were go-to when I needed some comfort in music, and particularly, probably all circa around what I listened to in 1982, which was the year where I lost my father, and at 16 at the time, I sort of was a little bit lost, for want of a better word, and it was around time I was about to leave school, and I'd just got my first youth training place, the old Youth Opportunity Scheme. So around this point, I was given some money. You sort of like, feel sorry for it. No, not feel sorry, but treat yourself. You need cheering up, and started earning some cash for myself. So, and these aren't the actual records, because actually these were brought on cassette, and the reason cassette was I didn't have a record player at that time. But I did have like a little boombox which I had at the side of my bed, so I'd lie on the side of my bed and put my tape on and just lie and listen to the music. And as I said, these albums, the reason they go to albums, because they would go to for time at the time I needed some comfort in my life. And I said that these were brought as cassettes, and if I remember rightly, I think reason it was cassettes because WH Smith's in my hometown, St Carlfield, I think they had some cassettes that were going really dirt cheap. I think something like £1 or something like that. So I had £2 in my pocket, and I brought two. The first one of which was Boston's self-titled debut album. I was aware of More Than the Feeling. At this point, my music was mainly singles and what stuff that was played on the radio. I didn't really have albums as such. So yes, this got me through, and it's remained a perennial favourite of mine. This album, obviously, More Than the Feeling, Peace of Mind, Smoking. You know the song. So that was one of my go-to albums. This album I brought on cassette at the time, Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of the Madman. I'd never heard any tracks of it, and I was only sort of like curious because the accident that took Randy Rhoads from us happened the weekend before my dad died. I remember reading about it. Well, I was helping him on his milk round, and I was reading about it in the Sunday paper what had happened. So I was sort of more curious about this than anything. I'd not heard Blizzard of Oz. And I wasn't, to be honest, apart from Paranoid, all that familiar with Black Sabbath at that time in my life. So I was a little bit curious, and yeah, again, got to love it. Over the Mountain, Flying High Again, Tonight. You can't kill rock and roll. I mean, there was a lot of madness going around with Ozzy on that tour in America and that year. I mean, he ended up shaving his head because he'd overdone the peroxide, I believe. So, yeah, I was pleased to get that. Also, this time I found this Queen's Heart Attack. Sheer Heart Attack. My first Queen record or album or cassette. I knew Killer Queen, and I was vaguely sure I knew Now I'm Here, but I hadn't heard a Queen album. So I picked this up, and I might have said this is my favourite Queen album. And it may be because it was my first Queen album. That sort of holds a special place for me. Listen to Brighton Rock, Killer Queen, Now I'm Here. It was always played to death. All these tapes that I had, I played them to death, and literally they died on me not long afterwards. As I said, I just a few months afterwards I started working. Well, I got a youth opportunity placement as it was, and that was in the UK. Vaguely remember, it was basically on the job training. It wasn't a proper job, but you got your job training, skill training, and you got paid £25 a week, which was tax free. So I was working in a place called Five Ways in Birmingham. Well, it's 1 Hagley Road, which is now apartments. But over the road there was a shopping centre and there was a post office. So you were given sort of like a cheque, which you had to cash in at the post office. So it's literally like over the road, under the underpass to the post office, cashed our cheque in, got our £25, which at that time made me feel like a millionaire. And there was a Boots in the shopping centre, little Boots that sold records and tapes. And I saw this moving on to Queen, to keep on with Queen. I picked up a copy of A Night at the Opera on cassette. Because I knew Bohemian Rhapsody, of course. And just played it to death. I grew to love this. Love this album at the time. Still do. And when I celebrated Bohemian Rhapsody, celebrated its 40th anniversary of release, I did put something on Facebook to say no track has given me or my family as much pleasure, and it still does. It always, we've had a drunken get together. We always end up doing a chorus of Bohemian Rhapsody. Who doesn't? Now, in 1982, the biggest band on the planet, particularly in America, was Journey. Now, I quite liked Don't Stop Believing. I had it as a 45. However, I didn't have Escape. But CBS were doing their nice price, cheap albums and tapes. So I spotted this album, Looking to the Future. And it's fair to say that it was totally different. It wasn't what I expected, but I persevered with it and grew to love it. So, yeah, I was really pleased with that. So that's been a perennial favourite. I was pleased when I started buying vinyl again to find a copy, an original copy on vinyl. Between 81 and 82, there was a big hoo-ha about home taping in the UK. And you may, if you ever pick up a UK album issued at that period, see something on the back saying home taping is killing music with tape and skull and crossbones bones, skull and bones, pirate skull. And so Island Record, they got round it. They thought, well, we know what we'll do. We'll do a 1+1. So you have the album on one side of the cassette and a blank cassette on the other side. So you could record what you want, but you'd have to pay for the proper album. They did a few. It never really took off. And one of them I picked up was Bad Company's Straight Shooter. I knew Feel Like Making Love. That was the track I knew. So hence why I picked up on that album. And again, played it to them and loved it. And then at the same time, I had a copy of this, Fire and Water. They did the same treatment with it. So 37-minute album, 37-minute blank tape. So yeah, that got me through. Of course, I knew All Right Now, so that was partly the reason why I brought it. I tended to buy stuff really that I could, as I say, seek comfort that I knew. And then I brought this Rush Signals that came out in '82, and while initially disappointed, oh well, that's my iPhone going off, get a notification. I grew to love this album more. I played it, and I saw the band on the tour the following year. And yeah, again, it was an album I played. It just got me through, got me through some bad points. It was a tough time. It was tougher for my mum, obviously, because she lost her husband, the man she loved. But for the rest of all of us, it was hard. '82. Up to Christmas was really hard. I think a strain for us emotionally, and that's why these are my go-to albums, because they saw me through that particular tough time in my life. So there you go, Steve. It's a slightly different slant than what you might have got, and I hope you appreciate it. I've got to say I'm off work at the moment. I'm going to the Bohemian Vinyl Club tonight. I'm going to take some records. I'm going to spin them at the Cast and Crate. So there'll be some beer involved. If you haven't subscribed to Steve's channel, subscribe. He's got 1,100. And I've got a feeling there's going to be a 1,500 subs contest coming up very shortly. As for myself, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down, love the interaction. Feel free to comment. I will get back to you. And so the 3 people that commented on my last video, I will be getting back to you once this video is uploaded. So VC, until the next video, take care of yourselves, keep spinning, more importantly, keep smiling.